me, Heshha Chimah, and welcoming here today on Etimes, I've got with me this stunning Priya Banerjee.
Hi!
Priya, oh my god, congratulations on the success of Rana Naidu, #1 on Netflix in India and top 10 globally. I mean, busking it all in.
I know. I mean, I wouldn't say it was unexpected because I knew with Karan Anshuma and Suparn Barma and everybody being involved, such great directors being involved, I'm sure is going to look very good. And the storyline, of course, is great. Ray Donovan was such a hit show. But I didn't expect it to do this well.
And 2 days.
Within 2 days. I mean, I'm like, what just happened? Like everybody, and I think nobody expected this. I think everybody's just taking it all in right now that, wow, okay, we did really make a good show. But I mean, everybody deserves it. Everybody has performed well. It's a well-made show. It's a great remake, because usually when you remake a show or a movie, a lot changes and people don't love it as much usually from the original when you compare. But everybody's loving it. As much as they've loved Ray Donovan, they've given that kind of love to Rana Naidu as well.
Yeah.
Which is great. Like, it's just awesome.
Take me back to when you got your call for this particular thing and how did you react, respond? Did it sink in? What was it like?
It's actually a very funny incident because I remember this was in 2021. So it took us almost 2 years to finish the show. 2021, and I was just sitting at home and I was on Instagram and I remember getting a message from Suparn, one of the directors, and they were casting for Mandira's, so basically this season is an introduction to Mandira's character, and they've been looking for this character for almost 8 months to lock somebody, and they couldn't find, for some reason they had auditioned many girls and known actors and everything. So he just messaged me on Instagram saying, hey, listen, would you be keen on doing this show, it's a remake of Ray Donovan? And I was just like, okay. And I think then we spoke a little bit. I was sold on Netflix and Ray Donovan.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, what do I have to do? And he said, okay, you have to go to this place and give an audition. I said, sure, let's do it right away. So everything happened within a span of, let's say, a few hours, couple of hours. So I quickly got dressed, went, Abhishek Banerjee is also in the show. The casting bay was casting for it. And I went and I gave my audition and I came home, and honestly, sometimes after giving so many auditions or, especially when it comes to big production houses or big platforms, they take their time to lock anything, and they were anyways auditioning for 8 months for this role. So I was like, okay, ho gaya, abhi de diya audition.
Dekha jayega.
Dekha jayega. I come home and it's really funny. I'm really good friends with Abhishek Banerjee as well, and he's like, हाँ बहुत अच्छा audition. Nobody told me. I was apparently locked within half an hour of me auditioning, Everybody saw my audition, they loved it, and I was locked. And it was kind of a joke because nobody told me that I've been locked. They were kind of just dragging it, just letting me,
Build
be
up
all like,
pressure,
yeah. And I was just like, why is nobody calling me on message? So like, तुझे बताया नहीं किसी ने lock हो गई है तू? And I was like, what? Why? Why wouldn't you tell me? I'm waiting here, just for you guys to tell me how did my audition go? And they were like, nahi. Tu to lock ho gayi hai. Mandira, you're done. Welcome aboard. And I was like, oh my god. So I think that took a while to just sink in because everything happened so quick. But I just knew I was in good hands and I was a part of a big show with a great platform. So I knew that this is it. I had to do this. Like, it was just that opportunity that I was getting.
Plus, you've got big names like Venkatesh and Rana Naidu and all of that. What was that experience like?
It was, honestly, such massive actor stars. Venkatesh, Rana after Bahubali, he's such amazing movies that they've worked on.
And the fan following that actually comes with these names.
Yeah, and especially I think with South actor stars, they have these faithful fans,
loyalists.
Loyal, and the way they love their stars, they literally worship there. Venkatesh, I was nervous because, everybody was going to see Venkatesh in a very different light. Like, wow, he's giving galis and he's a different, and they have temples of him, So I was like, how are they going to accept it? But everybody's loved him. I was like, wow, they're so humble, so down to earth. Rana I've known for a while, so he was kind of like working with a friend, but everybody else, like Venkatesh, I remember speaking to him and he's just so humble and soft-spoken, and I couldn't believe that he was that massive of an actor down south, that star. Nothing, no aura. I mean, that, of course, the aura, no, like, he's not stuck up. There's nothing.
Yeah, there's no air about those
No
people.
air, no. I don't even know how to explain it. They're just like, they'll make you feel like, okay, I should be more soft spoken around them. Like, you're so, like, calm and sorted. And it's a great experience. I mean, to work with such people, and you learn how to, when you get there in life, you should know how to carry yourself. And that is something I think most of these South stars have in them. It's just in them somehow, naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just before this interview is when I found out that Priya's from Canada. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sure your fans already know and they'll be like, what, Hesha, you didn't know? But I want to know your journey. When was it that you realized that, acting is what you want to do and you feel like you want to move to India and this is where your new home's going to be?
I think it took me a while. I think to accept India as my home took me a very long time. I think till about 2020, when the lockdown happened and I was locked in India.
Ab ye ghar hai.
Ab I didn't have an option because I was stuck in India.
Yeah. But what made you come to India?
I just wanted a change in my life. I was doing my university, I got my graduation done. And once you start working in a company, and I had gotten an internship there. So if you start working, it's like hard to take a break. You're stuck there, you have to, apply for your holidays and all of that. And I didn't want that. I was like, okay, I'm done studying now. I want to take a break and do things I like doing. And entertainment has always been a massive part of my life, Being a Bengali, I think singing, dancing, all of these things you have to know. It's mandatory in a Bengali household. So for me, these things have always been a part of my life. My mom, when I was a kid, used to drag me to dance classes. They've trained me in singing. So I've always been a stage person. I used to always love performing, love dancing, love acting. I've done it in Canada itself. I used to host a Bollywood show.
Oh,
so hosting, I just
something that came to you.
Yeah,
naturally.
and pageants I've done Miss World Canada. So I've done a lot of things that was always related to being in front of the camera or entertaining people. So the moment I thought, what would I do different? Acting was something I wanted to try because I'd done a lot of theater and stuff back home. And then I think the day I shot for my first film, which also was a fluke, by the way, I just gave an audition out of nowhere. It was a Telugu film. And there were so many girls again auditioning for it. And I was like, yeah, I don't even know this language. And back then I had a very thick English Canadian accent. And I was like, there's no way they're going to cast me. So a friend of mine on Facebook sent me a message that, listen, try it out. You should. So I did in Hindi. And then I went back to Canada. And I was there ready to get back to work. And then I get an email saying you've been locked as a lead.
Wow.
And I was like, what? Really? And then next thing you know, I'm in San Francisco for 2 months shooting for it. And I had to come back here to shoot for it in India. And I just fell in love with the process of acting. I think that's when I realized everything is great, but this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. Like when I was in front of the camera, I had never felt that kind of satisfaction or happiness anywhere else, doing anything else. And that's when I knew, in that moment, I knew that I had to move here and I had to give this a chance, or else I would regret it for the rest of my life.
Can you describe like a moment, from your entire career yet that you're like supremely proud of?
I think that bit, when I decided, it was a very impulsive decision. I'm the only child, so my parents were like, what? You want to move to India and live in Bombay by yourself? And I had no family in Mumbai. I have family in Calcutta, but nobody here. So I think that moment of, because even my parents were like, listen, think about it. You're the only child, you don't know the city, you don't know anybody there. And I think that moment of that, no, I think I should do this. Something in me said that, no, I'm going to take this risk. I'm going to go to that city and live there. I think that decision is something I'm really proud of.
How do you stay so happy and positive all the time?
I don't know. I think that's just who I am. I mean, of course, I have my bad days. We all do.
We all do.
We all do. But I try to be happy and positive most of the time in my life. And it just comes naturally to me, I'm just a happy person.
And easy.
I'm just an easygoing, fun person. Even on set or with friends, I'm just like the same person wherever you meet me.
There's like no difference.
No difference, nothing. Even on set, people are just like, I'm just all over the place laughing and, giggling and, it's just who I am. But yeah.
So like, let's say if somebody came to you and said like, Priya, give me like a tip on how to balance like, my personal and professional life, what would you tell them? Which is probably some of like, things that you follow.
Balance in the way I like I mean, it's a very difficult question for actors because the problem with actors, like when you have a 9 to 5 job, you can leave your work behind and go home and completely cut off from that. Unfortunately, with us, we do sometimes carry our characters home. Things can get hectic. There's scripts we need to learn. So with actors, usually to balance personal and professional life is very tricky. You have to really learn, and I think that takes time. Like even with me, sometimes when you have too much work, you're shooting a lot. You're sometimes shooting 18-hour shifts and you come home, you just want to sleep and you don't have a personal life for many days. I think that's something that comes with the profession with us. I love doing what I do so much that it doesn't bother me. I go home and I'm happy because I did something that is, and when you're happy, your personal life is also happy, right? So I think that's very important. To just be positive, even if you're working 24 hours a day, just go home and just try to be positive and that's it. And there's not much you can do otherwise to balance it out like that.
Like keep it more chill and easy and figure it out.
Keep it more chilled and easy and figure it out. Yeah, you're right.
So tell me something, when you're like on a film set or like a web show set or anything, where you're working primarily, and you see there's chaos everywhere, right? And obviously it puts you in a spot because even when we're in office and when we see like there's so much chaos around us, you're just like, oh my God, how to sail through that? Then what is it that you do when you're in a spot like that?
In fact, I was just telling her, I was walking in and such a calm office. So
That's because we have barely any people.
I'm like, wow, this is so peaceful. It's so nice to walk into an office. It's just so calm.
But sets are chaotic, right?
Very chaotic. And I always get this question that, what is the difference between, because I've done South films and I'm working here. So like, what is the major difference you will say between, I'm like, trust me, no matter which set you go on this earth, on this planet, it could be in LA, it could be in China, it could be in Bombay, it could be down south. It's all the same. It's chaotic. A film set, a show set, people are all over the place. It's like, I love that. I love that chaos, I look forward to going to a set. It actually makes me happy seeing people work and everybody's prepping for a scene, the light, everybody running around, screaming at each other. I don't know why, but that kind of gives me a weird happiness. Like, oh, okay, I'm at work. This is good.
This is what it is.
This is peaceful. So I've kind of found my peace in the chaos.
Do you have, like, let's say, a method or a process, or something that you can actually go back to where you felt like this is challenging and difficult, but I'm going to do it? What was that one role probably that actually took the most out of you?
I think it would be my first film.
Because of the language?
Language, yeah. And I was the lead, and I think that was the first time. There was about 120 scenes overall in the movie, and I was in 100 scenes out of that. And I had monologues of dialogues in Telugu. And I had never spoken that. Of course, I mean, being raised in Canada, the only Indian language I was familiar with, other than Bengali, because Bengali is my mother tongue, was Hindi, because of the movies I've watched.
Yeah.
And my Hindi wasn't that fluent back then. Now, of course, I've learned with time. But Telugu, I was like, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
And I'd signed it. And luckily, the direction team and production team flew a veteran actor from Hyderabad to San Francisco to teach me. But there were days when I would just come home and I would cry because I couldn't memorize that much, and I had to deliver that kind of lines and
with conviction.
With conviction. And I had so many days where I just broke. I'm like, I can't do this. I want to go home. But I was like, no, you love this. You enjoy doing this. You can do this. I kept telling myself, I'll do this, and I did it.
Yeah.
And I did, and everybody on set were like, wow, you've never spoken Telugu before? I in fact offered them, should I dub this film on my own later? And they're like, no. Don't get too excited.
Wow.
But
that's something very to be proud of, yeah? Like you actually went there from not knowing and crying, and then you listen, if you tell me, I
can dub for it. But I think that was the most challenge. For me, language was the biggest barrier at that point because I couldn't speak Telugu or Tamil when I worked in it. So for me, I think that was it. Other than that, as an actor, I've never had to do anything that I couldn't do. Other than that.
If I had to ask you, tell me 2 truths and 1 lie about yourself, and we'd leave it to everybody to guess. What would those be?
Oh my God, two truths. Okay, one thing, I'm a massive foodie.
We'll try guessing it. I'll also try guessing. Everybody behind also try guessing with me.
I'm a massive foodie. I'm not a big animal person. And third would be, I love beaches.
Beaches. Yeah. Now we figure out which are the 2 truths and 1 lie in that. Two truths could be that you're a foodie. No, you're not. You are. See, I know you're very fit, but I've also seen and stalked you on Instagram, so I know you work out a lot. So, like, okay. So, you are a foodie, that's the truth. You love beaches and you don't like pets. Is what you said, or animals. You're not an animal lover. No, yeah, you're very pretty like a cat. I feel you might be an animal lover. I don't know.
I am an animal lover. I love animals. That was the lie.
Isn't she giving me very cat vibe? You know, like
Cat? I'm an animal person. I love cats. I love dogs. I think I could just move to like some place and just live with animals and not have any human beings around me. I'm that person. I'm obsessed with animals.
You don't like beaches, basically.
Actually, I do. But I
so
think
she's giving me 3 truths only about herself and there's no lie in it.
I mean, I could also like, I think I might like mountains a little more. I don't know, I'm really confused about that. I think that's something I'm still figuring out as we travel, I travel in life.
As you travel in life.
Yeah.
But tell me something, Priya. Let's say, you know, when an actor is offered like a very seedha, sada, lovey-dovey, pyara sa romantic role, you know, as opposed to a controversial role, you know, or a script, let's say for the matter of fact, maybe your role might not be like that. Do you like take your steps, you know, or in your mental health, I'll say that again. In your mind, you take 2 steps back and go like, nahi, wo better hoga than a controversial thing, or you're somebody who's very open to characters that come your way?
I think I was more open when I first started because, of course, as a newcomer, it's always, I feel it was smarter for me to be doing whatever I could possibly do as an actor because, of course, when you don't have that kind of backup in the industry, you don't have that what do I say? You can't just be so picky about things. Beggars can't be choosers, right? Like at the end of the day. So when you're a newcomer in this industry and when you're working at yourself, you want to do good work, you want to be visible, you want people to see your work. Of course, I was picky as an actor. Like I knew that the characters I wanted to play had to be challenging and something people would love.
Yeah.
But I wasn't so picky about things I am picky about now. Like there's a lot of things that I can now, I think I can pick. I've worked enough.
Yeah. To have that body of work to now figure
Yeah, and back then I think I've not put that pressure on me. I'm like, you know what, don't be stupid. Do what good things that are coming your way and show people you're here, show people your talent, show people your work. Because otherwise, if you keep waiting, you could be waiting for 15 years. You don't have a godfather who'll just give you a break and be like, here you go, there's your film and you're a lead. So if you know you're talented, you should take that break. Let people see your work. Keep people should remember, okay, this person's a good actor.
Yeah.
And for people who are newcomers and people who's just out there and want to prove something to the world, I think that's the smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
But now I am picky. So now if you ask me this question, it makes sense because now I feel I'm in a position in life or in this industry where I can actually take that call that I want to only pick characters like this and this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Tell me something, if there is, you know, one role that you feel, you know, is yours or should be yours, what would that be?
Oh my God, there's so many. There's so many roles. Like, are you telling me something that somebody has already done in movies?
Or probably something that you've auditioned for and you feel that should be yours. Or you didn't get it, is what I'm saying.
There were so many actually. Nothing I can remember right off the bat, but I mean, I really wish I could get a break like a Gangubai. I mean, that is, as an actor, like performance-wise, that was brilliant. I'm a huge fan of Priyanka, so for me, Aitraz and all of those roles that she had done back then.
Oh my God.
So even when I was doing Rana Naidu, Mandira, even though I remember Supern and Karan had asked me that do not watch the original because we've changed your character a little and we want you to make it your own. And when they described Mandira's character and how she evolves as a person throughout, I think that was my reference point a little bit. I was like, you know, this is exciting. I can be like that. Because I remember growing up and watching that movie and I didn't see Akshay or Kareena. I couldn't take my eyes off Priyanka. I was like, she was brilliant.
Yeah.
And those roles are challenging. People might feel like, oh, okay, you know, but I'm like, to act, to perform that, and for people to believe that you're this person, that takes a lot of conviction as an actor.
Out of all the work that you've done, what is that one role that you feel, you know, it really resonates with you, the real you? Or you've not done it yet? Abhi time hai.
Let me think. Real me? I don't think so. Not yet.
Not yet.
No. Nothing that none of the characters I've played, like, oh, I would totally behave like this. Most of them I'm pretty, like, crazy. Losing my mind all the time. But I don't think I have played something which is similar to who I am as a person yet.
Your favorite actor that you would like love to work with?
Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh my god, an actress?
Priyanka.
Yeah, actually you love her, so it's kind of given that you would want to
I
like
would
work
love,
with her.
I would love to work with her. Yeah, yeah.
Let's say there was a film from the Hindi film industry which would very closely, relate to the real you. Which one would it be? Like we all have a story. Like if you're gonna ask me, I'll be like, "Yeah, love aajkal, bro," and then suddenly I'll be like, "No, ये जवानी है, दीवानी."
I
Two
even love
changing.
just another character I think was brilliantly performed, Geet, Kareena. I mean, I would love to. Jab we met. I would love to do that. I mean, that looks challenging because that's not somebody who I am. She's constantly blabbering, but she somehow is just such a happy and funny person.
Okay.
That's something I would definitely. I think that would be fun to play. I don't know. What film really describes me as a person, are you saying?
Yeah, like, something you'll be like, oh, this is like my vibe energy. So, why I'm asking you this is that when my friends sit and talk, we're just like, what movie to watch, something which is our vibe type.
Yeah.
So, if, I'll pick a movie or, like, as you said, Jab We
Yeah,
Met, I have friends who be like, yeah, Jab We Met is a my vibe movie, or probably I'm very close to the character, or I can be that person. Do you have something like that? Or you're like, nah,
Not really. Nah, nothing I've seen where I'm like, oh my god, I'm just like this person. I really like that. I really like fun female roles. I really like that movie with Kareena, Sonam, and everybody. All four
oh, yeah,
of them.
Veere Di Wedding.
Veere Di Wedding. I like the chemistry, and I think my girls and I have very similar kind of a chemistry. So I can relate to those chemistries between the characters because I'm like, oh, me and my girls would totally do something like that.
Yeah.
That I can relate to, but I've not yet seen a film where I'm like, oh my god, I'm just like this person. No.
Tell me more about your upcoming projects that you can talk about.
Well, there is a film that I just finished called Avasti versus Avasti, which is a beautiful film. Again, you'll see me in a very different light, very Indian, very desi, which is not something I've done yet. I'm not going to say much about it because, again, it's going to release probably in a couple of months, and I'll let the producers and directors announce. But that's, again, a film that it's a theatrical. Then there is another film, which is very, I can't mention the platform, but very interesting because it's a dark comedy.
Okay.
And it's funny. But at the same time, again, my character is so like, I'm playing the title role. And it's like something you'll watch and be like, are you crazy? But in a funny way,
Okay.
Like, wow. Like, so, and I love these kind of roles, when I play things that is absolutely opposite of who I am, I find it way more fun to perform. Because that's not something I would ever do. Like, I wouldn't react the way that my character would react, and I love that. It makes me work a little harder, challenges me, and I like that about things, about characters. And there's actually a lot of things. There's another show that I'm starting to shoot very soon with really good actors. Can't name them yet, but you will see a lot of me.
So Priya's a busy girl.
Fingers crossed.
Because you're going to have promotions, and then interviews, and then your shoots. So it's going to be like a long process ahead of you.
But I love that. I love that part of,
Your job, that it
my
all comes
job,
with it.
yeah, everything that comes with it. I don't ever complain about, oh my god, no, I have to do this. No, I'm a little lazy as a person. Getting out of the house when I have no plans.
Yeah.
It's just, I would rather be in bed and Netflix and chill.
That's happening to everyone right now. Like, there was a point where everybody wanted to go out on a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Friday. Now everybody wants to just chill.
You know why? It's a lockdown. That's actually spoiled
Made us
all of
complacent, I feel.
Yeah, we just don't like this. I definitely don't. Like, I have to 3-4 days at least it takes me to plan. When my friends are like, okay, Saturday we're doing this. From Tuesday I'll be like, oh god, Saturday I have to go out. So it's like that stress just goes up and up, and I'm like, can somebody cancel? So Saturday morning I'm waiting, can somebody cancel this plan? Do
So
I still have to
I
go?
am not the bad one who's cancelling or bailing out or rain checking, right?
No, I always wait for people to cancel.
Good
Usually
girl.
people do.
Do cancel. Everybody's doing that right now.
And I love that. Oh, thank God I didn't have to make a fake excuse.
Great, you can always be like, let's Netflix and chill on Rana Naidu because that's on air right now.
And I'm literally like, you guys want to hang out? Come over. Let's just watch TV. We'll order in
Watch
and
me.
Watch me. But
I'll
that's
do a premiere screening at my house.
I actually don't like watching myself too much.
Really?
Yeah, I do not like watching.
So you're not
myself.
self-critical or anything like that?
I would be if I started watching myself.
Okay.
So Rana Naidu, I was kind of peer pressure to watch myself, but usually 90% of the thing that I've done in my life, I haven't really sat and watched it throughout.
I'm really like you like that. I never watch my own interviews. Never.
don't?
No, never.
I don't think I do either.
Yeah, I don't want to watch myself only. And I know exactly what I did over there at that given
And
point in time.
somehow in my head, I'm like, I must have made a fool of myself. Let's not watch it. And I'm gonna sit and criticize myself. Wow, I could have done this better. Oh no, I could have. Oh, could have. So I always do that. I criticize myself the most, and I hate watching myself because of that. Because maybe everybody's like, "Oh, you've done such a good job." I'm like, "No, I've not," and I hate feeling that. So I'm just like, "Let's not."
Let's not.
Let's
You
not
know, I
watch.
also have a problem if somebody's like watching my stuff in front of me.
I
like,
get so
they're like, oh, the
awkward.
cow interview. I was like, no, why can't you do this at your own house? Like, why do you have to watch me in front of me? Because I'll suddenly notice, like, why is my nose like this? Or why is my hair like that? Why am I talking like
And I'm
this?
like, why didn't somebody tell me my hair had to be sitting like, oh my God, what? And I'm just like so critical about everything. So I'm like, there's no way I should, like, even if I've done a good job, like I know on set when I'm shooting and I've given a good shot, I'm like, oh my God, I'll see myself in the monitor and I'll be like, oh my God, great, I've done a good job.
Yeah.
But the same thing when it releases, I can't watch me.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, let's not watch myself and criticize myself.
Crazy. Lastly, Priya, what is it that you're doing in your free time when you're not working or shooting? I hope you have very little of those, so we get to see you more. But just in
Well, how
case.
would you say? I want to chill as well.
Oh, yeah.
No, but of course, I mean,
Yeah, I
as
want
actors-
Netflix, chill and sleep. What are you talking, Hesha?
But that's exactly what you just said, Netflix and chill. That's my life. I mean, I love eating. I love just chilling at home. I have a dog. I love hanging out with him. And I love being in bed and watching stuff. I can watch shows and movies. I binge watch things. And I love watching movies and shows. So that's one of my favorite things to do. I like going for runs whenever I can. But as people believe, I'm a fitness freak, which I'm not.
What?
Absolutely not.
Oh my God.
I going to the gym, and even I have a trainer who has never trained me. He's just there.
Okay. So basically, it's the genes
Yeah, could
and the
be.
metabolism.
Could be. Could be.
PC vibes. Because she also says the same thing. She's like, listen, I don't work out, I don't go to the gym. It's just that I have great metabolism.
I
and
love
great
running, and I feel that's my me time in life. When I, whenever I have some time off, I just go for runs, and I'll put my music cut off completely from the world. That I love doing once in a while. But other than that, following that routine, going to the gym, workout, and all that, not my thing. No, I can't.
Great. Thank you so much. This was lovely chatting with you.
Thank
Fab,
you.
Easy
Thank
peasy.
you.
And to everybody watching out there, go ahead and watch Rana Naidu and Priya, of course, with all her upcoming stuff. And if you guys liked this interview, make sure that you give Etimes a big thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we shall see you in our next video. Bye.